Hello everyone, and welcome back to Character Design 360.
Today I'm going to be sharing 5 guidelines that have helped me improve my illustrations.
First, I'd like to discuss the importance of foreground, middle ground, and background. In real life, we see things at different distances from our eyes. When you have something that's really far away, and you can compare that to things that are closer, it gives an illusion of depth that makes your illustration more realistic. Something that I found very helpful to keep things from getting confusing is to separate your layers with different colors. As you can see here, I have the layer in the farthest of the background blue, and then the things that are closer are pink, and this really helps to visually see where everything is. If you want, you can even have 3 colors for each part of your picture, the background, middle ground, foreground, but I think that 2 was enough for me. I've seen many artists use different colors for their sketches before they make details for their art, and it's something that really helps you correct yourself. The second thing I want to discuss is the rule of thirds and having focal points. The rule of thirds is a method where you divide your image into thirds vertically and horizontally. This method can help you decide where you want focal points to be in your image. In this case, the action is happening at the top with both police officers looking at the mother embracing her daughter. This is the point in the illustration where I've decided where everything is going to be positioned, and I start to give more attention to detail. As you saw in the earlier part of this video, I used references for the police's uniform, and I also used references for the living room. I've always thought it's funny how I see objects in places every day, such as a kitchen or a bicycle or a car, and yet I still have to look online when I need to know how to draw it. As artists, we should never feel silly or embarrassed to use references because it will always improve the final result of our work. Congratulations, you've made it halfway through my video. To reward you, I'm going to give you a bonus tip. Something that I've been doing more frequently is making thumbnail sketches for my illustrations. A thumbnail sketch is simply a smaller version of your idea for what the picture will look like. This allows you to explore different ideas and not to spend too much time figuring out how to make one way of showing your illustration work when there could be a better way. Alright, the next thing we're going to talk about is color scheme and lighting. Some things to consider when you are choosing a color scheme is what type of mood you want to create in your picture. Is it happy? Is it sad? Is it supposed to give a feeling of eeriness? Think about what mood and feelings you want your audience to have when they look at the colors in your illustration. A successful color scheme should not distract from the story and action of your illustration, but it should support that action and the story. For the color scheme of this illustration, I decided to go with a complementary color scheme of red and green with pops of orange and yellow to create an atmosphere that feels cozy and optimistic. Make sure that you also add lighting in your illustration. You should have shadows, base tones, and highlights. Decide where the light source is coming from. The sun, if the characters are outside, or if it's from the window, if they're indoors, or there's a lamp. Just make sure that where the light is coming from looks believable enough that it's not a distraction. Going back to foreground, middle ground, and background for a minute, generally things that are in the foreground are going to look darker while things in the middle ground or background will look lighter in comparison. So that's just something to keep in mind. Finally, there should be strong storytelling in your illustration. The most compelling illustrations will have a story, and you can accomplish this in several ways. As we discussed earlier, you can use the color scheme to create a specific mood. You can use the characters' gestures and their facial expressions to show how they feel about each other and the situation they're in. And finally, you can use context clues. This is one of my personally favorite things to do. In this illustration, I used the presence of the police officers and the missing poster as my context clues. I hope these tips were helpful and help you on your illustration journey. Dream big, live bold, and keep on creating. I'll see you next time!